All right, come on, stand up. That's right. If you are sitting down, we're going to play a game. And if you can't stand up, hands on your head time. I'm standing up. So if you build in the Power Platform in Copilot Studio, building Power Apps, you've definitely committed at least one architectural sin. And today we're going to play 12 rounds of Sit Down If. So the rules are simple. As soon as you hear a mistake that you've made, you're out. You sit down. Are you going to make it to the end? Let's play and find out. Okay, number one. Sit down if you have ever created an infinite loop with a triggered flow. Have you used a trigger such as when an item is created and then inside that flow you have got an update item or create item which triggers that same flow and then triggers another flow and triggers another flow. Before you know it, you're in mild panic. How do I stop this? How do I turn it off? You've burned through API limits and it's just a huge relief when you finally get it turned off and realize that's right, you want to think about trigger conditions and definitely don't create an infinite loop. Number two, okay, the apply to each loop. Sit down if you've tried to insert a person from a multi-choice people picker or from a table data source and you've ended up in an apply to each and all you want is that one record and you've dragged and dropped and you've created more and more and more loops and more apply to each loops. Yes, still standing. The pro fix, of course, is to understand expressions, understand arrays, and then you can go and write expressions like first or use a select action. Otherwise, hopefully you're still standing. Number three. Well, what do we think is coming next? Sit down if you've created an automation that writes to Excel, adding a row one by one. 5,000 rows later, 2 hours later, something fails and you have to run it again. And then you realize you've hit the API limits for your license. Have you looked at the Graph API? Have you looked at Office scripts for writing to Excel? There are far more efficient ways of doing it. Hopefully, you're still in. Number four, sit down if you've tried to use PowerFX in Power Automate or Logic App expressions in Power Apps. They are two different languages and still often confused. I see that PowerFX is often referenced in Power Automate Cloud Flows in documentation, and actually it's not PowerFX that we use in Power Automate, it's Logic App expressions. So if you're looking for the right expression, make sure you're looking at the right document. Confused? I know. If you're still standing, I'm impressed. Number five, and I'm currently thinking, what am I going to do when I get to 11 and 12? Because I haven't got 11, 12 fingers. We'll have to wait and see. So number five is sit down if you've built a Canvas app and everything has to be drag and dropped into the right place. I have seen a very good YouTuber showcase how to use containers, but if you haven't used containers already, make sure you explore that. Of course, who is building apps with drag and drop or even containers these days? It's all vibe coding apps, isn't it? But hopefully things have moved on a bit since you first built your first Canvas app. At least I hope so. Number six. Sit down if all the flows you've ever built are still sitting in your My Flows section in Power Automate. You've never ever used a solution in your life and you don't even know what ALM is. And if that's the case, then I have got a video on what are solutions and I highly recommend you watch it. But just remember, if you're building everything as you and you've now got solutions that are way beyond just personal automations, you need to start thinking about how your organization is going to support it if the inevitable happens, if you move on, or even worse. Number seven, sit down if you've pulled more than 5,000 items into a flow and then use an apply to each with a condition in order to append just 3 of those individual records into an array, or maybe process them as part of that condition. 5,000 items pulled into a single flow when actually, think about filtering your data at source. Even Excel lists and indeed Dataverse, no surprises, can be filtered from the data source, from simple OData queries all the way through to fetch XML in Dataverse. Don't pull everything into your flow if you don't need to. Number 8. Sit down if you've hard-coded specific values into flows when you've got a dev test prod and then realize that actually I should have been using environment variables. That would have made my life a lot easier and those that are then pushing it into production. Of course, anything that might change between your dev, test and prod should, well, almost definitely go into an environment variable so you can configure it later on. Definitely don't go putting secrets into your flows. Number 9, sit down if you write the same prompt into Copilot every Monday morning. What should you be doing there? If you've established yourself in Copilot and you're doing the same thing day in, day out, why don't you go and schedule that prompt? Or even better, if it's something you're repeating every single week, why don't you create a basic agent and see if that will save you some time? Share it with some colleagues. Don't go keeping your prompts saved in Notepad. Number 10. Sit down if you create a Copilot Studio agent where you've thrown every single piece of data at it from a SharePoint site that's not been checked for over 10 years, and you're really upset that the output is not very good at all. Rubbish in, rubbish out. That's right, and there's no surprise there. It is the same old story. Data is key to everything that you build. Don't be surprised if you get bad answers, if you put bad information in at the start. Number 11. Sit down if your major production flow still runs on your user account, and when you go on leave and your MFA runs out or your token runs out, all production halts and they have to wait for you to come back, or even worse, they call you whilst you're sat on a beach so you can log in and re-authenticate. Don't go creating flows using your personal accounts. Think about using connection references, please. And then 12. If you're still standing at this point, I am mightily impressed, but I've got the ultimate one to catch you all out. Sit down if licensing confuses you, unless, of course, you understand the Power Platform licensing guide and you've read every single page end to end, including the recent Copilot credits licensing guide that's recently dropped that explains how the Copilot credits work in Cowork and also in Copilot Studio GitHub Harness. I knew I'd catch you out eventually. If you're still standing, I'm genuinely impressed, but equally, let me know where I caught you out, what number did you get to, and what faux pas or things do you wish you knew when you were working on the Power Platform as a newbie. And then if you're interested about learning about some of these common pitfalls that I've mentioned, make sure you check out the description where I've included some of the most popular videos that explain some of these more complex topics. Thanks for watching.